Good morning. This is my granddaughter Lillian, if you've never seen her before. Lillian, these are kids that belong to Asbury. So welcome to Asbury. Do you know where Africa is? Oh, it's a long ways off. There's a map of Africa right up there. Can you see it? And that tells you how big Africa is. Look, in Africa you can fit the United States. You see the United States in there? And China and India and Western Europe. That's a really big continent, isn't it? But that's the continent that we traveled to back in April. And Bob, if you'd show the next one, I didn't bring my little pointer. We were in Zimbabwe, and if you look up, you can see Zimbabwe is on the east side, almost down to the bottom. I'm not tall enough, and I didn't bring my little pointer. But if you can see at the very, very bottom, it says South Africa, and then right above South Africa, it says Zimbabwe. And that's the country where we went. That's where Africa University is. And actually we were in Mutare, which is very close to the coast, almost to Mozambique, about 10 kilometers. And so Zimbabwe is a country that has about 15 million people. And Bob, if you would show the next slide. In that you can see the state of Iowa. Can you see the state of Iowa kind of outlined? And Zimbabwe is the country, that's how big Zimbabwe is compared to Iowa. It's about 3 times the size of Iowa and has about 3 times the number of people. So we went to a really big continent with a really big country compared to Iowa, and that's where we spent our 3 weeks. And so I don't know, is there story hour today? Yes, there is. So if you don't go to story hour, you will learn a little bit about our trip, but if you do go to story hour, after church, come over and spend some time and look at some of the things that we brought back from Africa. We met some really good people, brothers and sisters who are Christians just like we are, who are working hard to make Africa a better place to be. And that's the whole goal of Africa University, is to develop leaders for Africa. And we got to help them do that just for a little bit. So next time you think about Africa, remember how big it is, how far away, and yet how close it is, because these are our brothers and sisters, all of us Christians together in one family. And so we help each other just like you do your family at home, right? So let's tell Jesus thank you for Africa, and thank you for the work happening at Africa University. Would you pray with me? Thank you, Jesus, for all you've given us and for our family, not only here, but around the world, even in Africa. Help us to remember that we are brothers and sisters, sharing your gifts to make the world a better place. We ask this in your name.